Hello guys, in this tutorial I will be implementing for loop in Java, and before we get to the implementation, let's first create our project. I'm using NetBeans as my development environment. So to go to File, then scroll down to New Project. Under Projects, click on Java Application and select Next. So we have to give our project a name. Since we are working on for loop, it's better to give it for loop tutorial. I have already created a folder on my desktop with the name Data Structures and Algorithms. There is where I'm going to store this project. So you can create a folder on your desktop, then browse through here to locate the folder and get your project stored on that folder. For here, create main class. I'm going to be working on main class, so I will leave that ticked. Then click on the finish button. Okay. Here we go. We just created our application, our project. We just created our project. So for these parts, you can ignore this part or delete them. For me, they are just comments. I can delete them. They are just comments. I don't need them. Let me zoom in so that you can see what I'm doing perfectly. So now, let's assume you want to print out Range Rover 1000 times, even 100 times, even 1 billion times, even 1 million times. How can you do that? How can you do that efficiently and effectively? So there is where the where for loop comes in to give us a helping hand. But let's try and do it manually, for example. So let's print out Range Rover. So first of all, I would like to tell you that there is a short way or a shortcut to print out system.out.println. So to do that, type SOUT, then click on the tab button on your keyboard, the tab button that will populate. So Range Rover. So let's compile this. And then run the application. So you can see we have Range Rover printed. So how can we print this out 1 billion times, 1000 times, even 1 billion times? Is that possible to do it manually? That would be tedious. I don't know how many days or months it will take just one person to print this out 1 billion times. I don't know if that is gonna be possible. So it will be nearly impossible to do that. Just for me to do that, just trying to print this out manually, manually type in Range Rover and print it out 1 billion times. That is not gonna be possible for me to do, really. So that is why we have for loop. The concept of for loop. For loop is a powerful and a versatile construct. We can use it to manipulate our data and get, our job done efficiently. So let me start. Let's use for loop to print out this Range Rover 1000 times. So for loop, the whole thing looks like this. The first part of this is called initialization, semicolon. The second part is the condition, and the third part is the iteration. And then we have the body of the loop. The body of the loop. So this part, initialization, it contains the loop control variable, and it sets the start of our loop. And the second part, the condition. The condition tests the loop control variable against a target value. If the expression is true, then the body of the loop is executed. If it is false, the loop terminates. The next part is the iteration portion of the loop. So this part could increment or decrement this part, the loop control variable. So let's get back to work and see how. So let's write down our for loop. Okay, for loop, and I is the loop control variable. It could be anything, it could be any alphabet, but by convention we use I. Let's set it to, let's say, 1, and this 1 is the start of the loop. We have set the start of the loop to be 1. So I less than or equal to 1000, or let's print like 21st. Then I plus plus. Remember system.out.println. We have a shortcut SOUT. Then click on the tab button on your keyboard. Then Range Rover. Then let's print. Yeah, we printed that 20 times, but you can't see the numbering. To see the numbering, just add the concatenation plus is the concatenation symbol. Then concatenate that, give a space by using the quotation mark, and then add the plus again and the I. Let's do it now. So you can see we started from I to 20. I to 20. So let's print this out 1000 times. We can do it 1 million times, but I just don't want to do that now. So you can see we get that printed out 1000 times, from 1 to 1000. You can see the power of for loop. It's a very, very powerful construct. So what then is happening here? Let me explain what is happening here. Initially, we set our loop control variable, which is I, to be 1. So our I is 1 now. That is the start, and we set that once. That is the start of our loop. Then we test the condition. Is I here now is 1? Is I less than or equal to 1000? I is less than 1000. The condition is true. And when the condition is true, the body of the loop from here will run. That is why it printed Range Rover and then plus I, which is the value of this I here. The value of I is 1. The value of I is 1. The value of I is 1. So that is why it printed 1. So after printing the body of the loop, this part of the code I++ here, you can see I++, we perform its function, and its function is increasing our loop control variable by 1. I++. It means you increase a variable by 1. So our loop control variable now will be 2. It will no longer be 1, it will be 2. Then we have to test the condition. Since I is 2 now, is 2 less than or equal to 1000? As we all know, 2 is less than 1000. That means the condition is true. Our loop will print the body of the loop. In that case, Range Rover plus 2. 2 is the value of I right now. So after that, this third part of the loop will perform its function, increasing our loop by 1 again, I++. Then increasing our I by 1 again. So our I will now be 3. It will no longer be 2, it will be 3. Then we test the condition. I is 3 now. Is 3 less than or equal to 1000? 3 is less than 1000. The condition is true. This body of the loop will run. We have Range Rover 3. And so on and so forth. We do that incrementing until that point when this condition is no longer true. When is this condition no longer true? When I is greater than 1000. That means the condition is not true. When I is 1000, when I is 1001, this condition is no longer true. Our loop will terminate. Nothing will be printed anymore. So that is how for loop works. There are many things I'm going to cover under for loop, but this is the first video on this for loop. There are many things and many ways to implement this using array and other things. I'm going to do that in the subsequent videos. If you like my video, please help me click on the like button, subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next video. Thank you and God bless.